Jason, they say, aren't eggs too basic to go on Basics with Jason? To them I say nay. Here on Basics with Jason, we have a long and storied tradition of making basics very complicated. Let me show you how to make an egg basic. I'm going to show you two different ways to make scrambled eggs. And you might think, there aren't so many ways to make scrambled eggs, right? Well, first thing you got to do when you're making scrambled eggs is get an egg. And obviously eggs go into a lot of different dishes and they can be needlessly and unendingly complex in their preparation. But I'm going to show you two different ways to cook the most basic egg dish, scrambled eggs. The first thing we got to do though is get some eggs, and let me tell you, I made that part very complicated. I found a free chicken coop, at least part of one. I'm just breaking down this old pallet, and I'm going to use as much as I can of it to make our new coop. It's going to take me a second to break it all down, and I don't know what I'm doing, but we'll figure it out. There we go. Oh, is that whole thing gonna fit in my truck? I don't think so. There's just like 8 or 10 random nails in each one of these little risers. Or you can just go to the grocery store and pick up a dozen eggs if they're available. If it's not a Sunday, you can go get your eggs and you'll be fine. That's what I did with this one. I just went and picked it up from the store, but I'm still gonna make it complicated by showing you a couple of different ways on how to make scrambled eggs. There's really not a whole lot out in this demonstration that you are going to learn, but we're going to make our scrambly eggs first. So we're gonna put our eggs into a container. We want to make sure there are no bad eggs. If you ever drop shell into your eggs, the best thing to get them out is an egg. It's just small. You can pick it up and scoop it. People worry about it coming out of a chicken, but that's where it came out of. So that's how I get pieces of egg out of my out of my yolks. So we're going to scramble these. Really standard. Make sure to get all the yolk broken. It doesn't need to be fully incorporated. We're done. We're going to look at our heater, put it to about a medium heat, maybe medium low, and let it sit for a second. We want the pan to come up to temperature before we put our butter in. We're just going to grab some water on our hand, give it a little, and it sounds like it's hot enough. I'm going to grab a good chunk of butter, and we're just going to drop that into the pan. We want it to bubble a little slowly. Start coating your pan. And this is just almost straight up Julia Child's scramble with eggs, just to say where this is coming from. And just like Julia, we're going to let the bubbles kind of calm down. Once it kind of evaporates some of those liquids, then we can start cooking our eggs. So we have our pre-beaten eggs, no salt or anything in it, and then we're gonna add the eggs to the pan. And we're just gonna shake it. We're just gonna shake it over the heat. We're going to edge away the scrambly eggs from the side of the pan. Fill in the rest of the pan with the liquid eggs. And we're just going to let this cook really, really gently. Get some of the liquid down. And then we're going to start kind of wrapping the egg in itself. We aren't doing anything fancy here. We're just making sure we don't overcook the egg. Simple scrambled eggs, flaky salt, breakfast. Every day of the week, easy peasy. So the thing I want to show you is that you don't have to use just a pan to make scrambled eggs. You can use water to make scrambled eggs, and it makes it a little bit more elevated, a little bit more light, and a little bit more interesting. Jason, you say again, one cannot poach scrambled eggs. You're wrong. You absolutely can poach scrambled eggs, and I've told you that before. So I'm going to show you now so that you don't have to say it again. You start off with your poached eggs basics. You want a light boil, something that's not too heavy, and you want just like a little touch of vinegar. You just want like, I'm going to go into the cap. It did almost as much as I wanted past the cap, and that's why I'm using the cap, is so I can miss it. There we go. So you got a little bit of vinegar in there, just enough to keep the egg together. And you're gonna swirl the water in your pot. So unlike your standard pan-cooked scrambled eggs, you do want to beat the heck out of your eggs. You want them to come together absolutely completely, and you want them to have a little bit more body than they would if they were just cooking them in a pan. So we're gonna beat this for about a minute. Okay, so that is homogeneous. I'm gonna rinse my hand off. I'm gonna grab a piece of toast, because this doesn't take very long. Piece of toast, boiling egg, scrambled eggs. We're gonna make that current happen in here. And that's gonna make all the eggs just come together once we drop it into the pan. And you just want to get close down to the pan and pour it in. You know, shake the pan a little bit, make sure that we aren't having the bottom stick to the pan. And it just makes the most delicate looking eggs. And they are very delicate, so you have to be very, very careful. One good part is you can't necessarily overcook these. So I'm just gonna use my little strainer here to make sure that they aren't sticking to the sides of the pan. And then we're gonna start to scoop around and make sure that all the eggs kind of come together. I'm gonna get as much as I can in here. And we're just gonna let some of that water drip off. We're gonna use the side of the pan to drain it. Make sure that we aren't just drenching our toast in boiling water. But you can see how pale they are. They haven't like had the opportunity to caramelize or stick to the side of the pan and get hard. And then we're just gonna take our eggs and slide them right onto the bread. And you can see how like jiggly and loose they are. The first thing I like to do with these is get big flaky salt and just do a little bit of that. And that's really fun. It's a good simple egg dish. It's wonderful. But I'm going to talk to you in the next episode about my friend here. And I'm just going to take a significant amount of my new infatuation and just pile that right on top. And for me, I think I'm good. If you just want to serve me this every day, I'm happy. You can kind of see the little bits of red oil slinking down the sides here. And I'm going to show you just like how delicate those eggs are. It's so light and airy, so thick and wonderful. They just melt. It's like a little custard, a little spicy, eggy custard. So that's how you make eggs way more basic than they need to be. I'll see you in the next episode.